Good morning. It's day 5 of the Inspired Are You Future Ready conference. We are on this journey that took us from school to work to money to skills and today to sustainability. Because without a planet to live on, without a world where we can exist in harmony and where people are contributing towards saving resources and towards ensuring that we live in an inclusive world where we value the diversity of people, everything else we do becomes senseless. So, here we are, a day that focuses on sustainability. This day is sponsored by the Noma Foundation, and we will introduce their CEO, Dr. Saleh Bazead, towards the end of this conversation. So, who do we have with us today? First of all, we have Gail Mowgli, and she brings an amazing session. So it's also coinciding with the launch of her International Solidarity Network, or Connect Aid. And often you might feel that you want to contribute, or organizations want to contribute, or NGOs have to work or would like to run projects, but they spend so much time on administration or running the organizations in an effective manner. And this is something that Gail, in her years of work with the United Nations and with other organizations across the world, has seen to be a huge gap. So she will tell you more about Connect Aid in a session that focuses on solidarity and partnerships for the SDGs, and hopefully after today seeing all the fantastic speakers that she brings on board in her session, that you will have a better understanding of what the SDGs are about and what you can do to contribute towards the future. After Gail, we have Caitlyn Hroff. Caitlyn is a young lady, a young researcher, and I first met her in London at the Reimagine Education Awards, where the organization she works for, Imagine Scholar, won multiple awards. And that's something that piqued my interest, because that was a project they were running in my own country of birth, South Africa. And it is a sustainable project that works on equipping young people with lifelong skills and building these sustainable ecosystems. And Caitlyn today is going to talk about people, power, and the environment, using political ecology as a tool to investigate the root causes of problems. So that is fascinating for Malaysians who can look at the whole issue of deforestation, for people who have questions around game parks, impact of projects on the natural environment and people who live there. It's really, really fascinating, and I'm sure that you will also enjoy her investigation and her sharing of how one can use political ecology. Followed by that, we have a really interesting look at collective impact, and that is by Dipti Kumar, who's a very young CEO of the Malaysian Collective Impact Initiative. Now, Dipti has studied in the UK, she has worked with the royal family, she's worked with the United Nations, and she brings all that depth of knowledge of international collaboration and working in charity and aid organizations to the collective impact model in Malaysia, where she is working on systemic change. And in her topic today, we'd also be talking about hand-in-hand collaborations for change and systemic change in not only in the country, but as a model that can be replicated. Which leads us then naturally to Andrea's session, who talks about partnerships. And we know that SDG 17 is about meaningful partnerships to achieve the SDGs, and he's asking, is that one the most difficult one to achieve? And he gives us incredible tips to consider when we think about creating partnerships. And I think it's not only valid for organizations or for NGOs or whatever partnership you want to form, but it even has a lot of sense on a personal level. So partnerships take work. Partnerships should be in line with your values. Partnerships should have strategies for communication. And it made me think almost of, a marriage or even within your family. So fantastic session by Andy, Andrea. After Andy, we then have Deborah Leipziger. Deborah talks about the 100 words that define the future. And it really makes you think about the language you use to talk about the future. How do you introduce the future? What is it? What is sustainability? Are we all talking about the same thing? Fantastic session by Deborah, which is then followed by the closing keynote. After we will do a summary of the day, the closing keynote by Kenneth Kwok, who again brings amazing young people onto the platform, and it gives you so much hope for the future to see these young people so enthusiastic, all so secure in their understanding of what they want to do and the contribution they want to make. And it leaves me with a question: do we have the same kind of commitment and passion and focus as these young people do? Today, we also want to share something around the partnerships in this conference. So we have formed many, many different partnerships, and we will be exploring this beyond the conference. Because, as I said, this is not the end, this is the beginning. And we will be launching weekly articles, weekly discussion forums, and with our partners, with people who participated in the conference, we have a wealth of information that we will be building on. Now, one of these partnerships is with Family Mask, and this is a company, a PPE company in Hong Kong, and this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Family Mask is offering to anybody who's to the entire participants of this conference to nominate organizations, NGOs that work with cancer, because they will offer them 1,000 face masks that they will send to them if this organization is vetted and they can make that connection. So please do nominate. If you know of cancer organizations in your country, wherever you are in the world, just send us an email, contact us, reach out to us. You can also reach out to Kenneth directly. So please do, and I will put the details of how you can connect with him on the Facebook page, the Facebook Inspired Conference Are You Ready page. You will find the links in your conference center where there is a specific tab for social media. Another organization that we collaborated with is the Keynote Speakers, which is Keynote is an organization for women speakers, and we have a number of our speakers who actually belong to Keynote, and we will also explore and explain this partnership a little bit later. We also want to actively promote Connect Aid, and would encourage all of you to reach out, find out what it's all about, and to also support Gail in this amazing endeavor. And then I would have to mention our collaboration with the Meaningful Business 100. 7 of our speakers actually are from the Meaningful Business community, and in our articles that will follow, we will also explore this a little bit more and share with you what is the Meaningful 100. So please, today we want to ask you to be active. We want you to do the Mentimeter polls that are underneath or on the page of the speaker. We want you to go to the Headspace and channel, and please post a video and connect with people and collaborate. You don't have to necessarily post. You can also just respond to comments in writing, but of course show yourself and reach out, because this is the live element of our conference. You can also post your comments on our Facebook page. You can tweet about the conference, Inspired C 2020. You can make comments on the LinkedIn page, where you can also see the names of and links to the various authors. If you click on the program, you will also see, and on the conference website, you will also see the direct link to the speaker's LinkedIn page, because all of them have a LinkedIn profile. So let me, without further ado, introduce the speaker of the day. This is Dr. Saleh Bazead from the Noma Foundation, who is a philanthropist, who is a person who is so committed towards social change, and the Noma Foundation invests in the third sector and in education improvement in several countries across the world. And this is how I got to know Dr. Saleh, through the project that we are running for them called EduLead in Tanzania, Indonesia, Kyrgyzstan, Lebanon, and we also lately have coaches joining us from India. As part of a free gift that the Noma Foundation is issuing in your bonus pack, you will find a link to a book that is a brand new book, published and released for the first time today, an ebook that is about mind mapping. The EduLead course is, and our EduLead participants are showcasing their work, and this is proudly released today. So that's another announcement that we are making, and we hope that you have a fantastic time. Remember, at any time you can stop the video that you're watching and you can pose a question, post a question on the Mentimeter link, go on your Headspace, be active, because what you put in is what you will get out, right? So thank you very much for being here, and I now hand over the session to Dr. Saleh.